right, everyone. Today is June the 6th. Can you believe we are in June already? I cannot. And this year is just flying by. And, speaking of flying by, I'm going to bring the guy that just does a flyby every time he is on this program, the man, my son in law, Jay Gill. Welcome.
Thank you, Dad. I love, the transition for me. I never know what you're going to say. And so, I'm just a fly on the wall. I love it. That's
Well,
great.
I figured it was just appropriate. I have not seen it, the new Maverick movie, but flyby. I thought, hey, that's fitting.
Hey, I would love to have my code name be Maverick. Nothing wrong with that. Typically, my code name is like Gopher or Beached Whale.
Gopher.
So it just changes all the time. But it's usually typically with an animal. Sloth, I get that one a lot too. I haven't figured out why, but it's fine.
No idea. As long as you were able to get your questions out in a reasonable amount of time and not be slothful, we're good.
Yeah. Oh, I don't have a problem there. I'm kidding, Dad. I'm hyped up and energized, and you know why? Because
Why?
tonight, oh, let me get into it. Tonight we have one of my favorite humans on the show.
That's right.
Uh, this guy is known for motivation. He's known for building you up and uplifting you. I guess that's what the definition of motivating is. But I know I always leave the show just feeling super, super sky high and ready to become a better person. Let me just tell you, we have Mr. Brad Dempsey with of Mindset Sports on tonight, and I just love
Or,
that name,
or as
Mindset
some people
Sports.
know him, Coach D.
Coach D's in the
Coach
house.
D.
Coach D. I love it. Anyways, if you need a refresher on Coach D, buckle up. Let me tell it to you. Brad started down the road as an educator at the age of 24. He says it's an unconventional way to get started, but he received a call from an old friend who told him about a teaching position that was opened up in his hometown. He spent the next 12 years of his professional career serving in different roles: teacher, coach, Coach D, athletic director, and assistant principal. This is where he became known as Coach D. Brad has since branched out and started his own business, Mindset Sports. And like I said, I love that name. Mindset Sports. It's all about your mindset. Get in the game, baby. One of my favorite quotes I think of is from Winston Churchill. A pessimist sees the difficulty in every opportunity. An optimist sees the opportunity in every difficulty. And that's a mindset. That is a mindset you have to put yourself in. If you see difficulties as opportunities, it will literally change your life. I'm telling you that now. So, anyways, I don't need to do the motivating here. Let's bring on the man, Brad,
Let's
and
do
let's
it.
dive into what he's got going on.
All right. Coach D, how you doing?
What's up, fellas? How we doing?
We're doing good. As always, Jay's gonna bring the hype video ahead of time.
Hey, man, I love your energy. I love your energy. Energy is it's contagious.
That's right. That's right. He's if it's contagious, man, he's doing a pandemic of it.
Yeah,
You
oh
better
man,
believe it.
yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh, you guys are great.
All right. Hey, we got a lot we want to talk about, but not necessarily Jay and I. We want you to be talking about quite a few things here tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to dig right in and let Jay go right at it.
Awesome.
Man, so Brad, there's so much we can kind of talk about concerning what you do and what you have going on with Mindset Sports. So I just want to start with the why. You know, I kind of want you to tell me why you do what you do and let you just fill everybody in, fill in the gaps.
Well, Jay, I mean that's a great question. And really, honestly, the reason I was really excited to get on here tonight because when you're I'm building this business and I'm building it organically. So a lot of people spend a lot of money on Facebook ads, LinkedIn ads, marketing. And I started out kind of wanting to go down that direction. Then I realized, you know what? I just want to start growing organically so people can get to know me. And really, I want to build it off of relationships. All of my success in my career has been built off of building positive and cultivating relationships that last a lifetime. And so my why is, as I was in the education world and just being a member of society now, as I see that there are systematic failures that surround us all everywhere. And it seems that everyone is struggling in some capacity in their life with, especially the changes since the pandemic. But these systematic failures are leading us to point fingers all over the place. It's always somebody else's fault. It's Jay's fault. It's Kirk's fault. It's Coach D's fault.
We go Jay's
And
fault.
and ultimately, I think about three things for me, um, that are important, and it's ownership, effective communication, and encouragement. And so I heard a friend of mine, this guy's become a friend of mine, speak. I was getting ready to join this leadership group in St. Charles County, and it's called Vision Leadership St. Charles, and I had to pay out of my pocket because I was starting my own business, and I had to pay out of pocket the tuition for this program. And basically, the day before I joined the leadership group, I called the executive directors thinking I was going to pull out. And the next day, I joined the group. I showed up, and there was a speaker, and his name was Brian Jackson. And Brian, it's not my story to tell, but long story short, Brian's father, when he was 5 years old, snuck into a hospital room that he was in and injected him with HIV. And he's lived his entire life that way. And so I'm sitting in the room, and it was like, what just happened? What did he just say? And he was up there sharing his story with such uh, just great character and great energy. And he had a mask on because he can't be exposed to COVID or any other viruses. And so after he spoke, I walked out of the room and went around, and I said, "Hey, Brian," I just introduced myself, and I just knew I wanted to be his friend. And from there, I went back into the leadership group and finished the weekend, and I didn't know anybody, and it seemed like, coming from Jeff City, where it's a tight knit community, St. Charles County is the same but larger. And I made the decision that what I'm going to do with this group, because I don't really know anybody, and a lot of people knew each other. I said, I'm just going to encourage and pour everything I have into all of these people. I'm going to let them see who I truly am, and I'm going to be the best version of myself. And that's what I did. And from that experience, I've joined some other groups. But a couple weeks ago, I was at the banquet, the graduation, and they named me the class representative, the guy that didn't know anybody, but they named me to represent the class and be on the board. And I had to stand up and speak. And I thanked everyone and kind of did my normal thing, but then I lost it. Like I just started crying. I'm trying to talk to people, and I just shared with them, and this had a lot to do with me leaving education. Like, I shared with these people that I was broken. Like, I was broken when I left education, not because I wasn't trying to do good things. I got to work with you guys. I got to meet you guys. I got to do a lot of great things, but I didn't do things for myself. I didn't take care of myself. I didn't love myself. And what I learned is that for me to be able to give to others and to encourage others, I have to work on my habits. I have to take ownership and what I'm capable of doing, not what I'm not doing or what I can't do.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that for me, as I started to develop mindset sports, I see huge gaps, organizational gaps, systematic gaps, where we don't even talk about the mindset of athletes.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about mental health because we're seeing a lot of athletes commit suicide. Some athletes at the Division I collegiate level that some of them are jumping on the Today Show. So we're starting to have these conversations about mental health, but we're not talking about what it takes to prevent these things from happening. Like, why is this happening? And for me, having worked with teenagers for years, most of my life, and struggling as a teenager myself, that's the most critical time in a person's life where they develop their identity and they begin to develop the habits that carry on into their young adult and eventually adulthood. And so if our kids are going to school all day, every day, they're playing all of these sports and they're doing all of these things, but they're not developing their identity, they're
Mm.
becoming someone that everybody else wants them to be. They're becoming the person they think everybody else or society wants them to be. And that's all I'm seeing all the time. And it's driving me. It drove me to the point to where like I have to do something about it.
Mhm.
And so that's where mindset sports started.
Brad, you mentioned systemic failures. Can you talk a little bit about that, and then also toxic culture? Just kind of what you're meaning by that, so people have an understanding there.
Yeah, so let's just say the education system. Let's because I worked in the education system for a long time. There's a ton of amazing teachers and great administrators. There's a ton of great people out there, but they're burnt out. A lot of them are becoming disgruntled. They're tired. They're exhausted. And for me, it's because you take this little black box here. We're always searching for something to buy something or to do a certain program or to buy to that's going to fix the problem. We got to go get this to help us with this. And the failure is it's about people. Education, the education system is about people. We could take a school and not focus at all on any of the curriculum. We could set that to the side and let it be what it is. And we could say, okay, staff, administrators, school office, support staff, coaches, teachers. This year we're focusing on encouragement, encouragement only. We're just going to encourage and we're going to pour into these kids. We're going to pour into each other. We're going to build a culture of team. That's what we're going to do. We're not going to go searching for the next big thing, the next big technology piece, the next big math program or reading program. This is what we need to be doing because if they haven't figured it out by now, once every year, every other year, they're switching programs anyway. And so when we focus on all of that all the time, when the focus is always on what we're going to do instead of what we actually need to do and provide the kids, that's a failure. There's gaps there. And the kids like we underestimate the knowledge and the intuitiveness and the abilities of our young people. Like they see right through all of it and they become bored and then it becomes monotonous and it turns into a big waste of time. And so it just a lot of people are and again I'm painting a big picture here, but a lot of what's happening is we're not it's not people helping people. It's people begin just becoming disgruntled, burnout, tired. Culture becomes toxic. You can have a ton of great people in the room, but if they're not communicating effectively and they're worried about all the different programs and what we need to be doing and what we're not doing, it just turns into a big mess and then it's not effective. What
Hmm.
we're trying to do is not effective. And it happens in the youth sports industry. It happens in politics. It happens everywhere. I mean, we have to be better when it comes to people helping people.
Right. Absolutely. I mean, you hit it on the head saying that it's more than just sports. I mean, it's everywhere in every industry, wherever you go. And the bottom line, I think one of the things you were saying is that people want to know that you're being real with them. They're really wanting to see that you genuinely care and that you want to uh, do life with them. That's where people want to be, and I
That's it.
appreciate that. I appreciate that. That's a great message that we need to have. You were talking about the toxic culture, and we need that more and more today than ever before. So
Yeah.
great, great
Well,
job.
ultimately, when you wake up in the morning, and this is where like so guys, I have Mindset Sports where I'm working with, and I'll share a little bit about more about Mindset Sports here in a little bit because I know you have some more questions. But I developed Mindset Training Group, and Mindset Training Group is another company where that allows me to get into the schools and work with companies and build that positive culture that I believe needs to be cultivated. And really ultimately there's a word that's not used very much anymore and it's fun. for some reason, when we believe that working can't be enjoyable, or it's not supposed to be fun. We have to be serious all the time. And what I've found from working with people all over the country, Greg Kettner with Work Happy, Jeff McLean, who has a company called Professionals at Play, these guys cultivate energy in these schools and work systems and organizations where people like, you should wake up in the morning and be able to fuel your passion because you're getting ready to go do what's your purpose, what you're here to do.
That's right.
And a lot of the programs I built for the young people is to help them find their passion so that they can find their purpose. Because ultimately, you want people doing what they're here to do, what they're
Hmm.
gifted here to do.
Mhm.
That's right. And you're talking about energy. Of course, we're talking about, Jay. Jay, he brings the energy and brings the heat. And he's got, at the end of our interview tonight, he's going to bring a little bit of fun with the speed round. So we'll get to some of that. Hope you're ready for that. You never know what he's going to ask and whatever he's going to say. So we're going to go ahead and take a quick break here, real quick. Thank you for jumping right in and telling us the why, because that was great. And hopefully that, you know, opened up the eyes of some people that need to understand the why of what you do. And hopefully that'll spark some interest where they can contact you and if they have any questions, get more information. But we're going to get into some more stuff here in the next segment. But let's go ahead and bring on our sponsors here real quick.
Not everybody is an 8 to 5 Monday through Friday type. At CNS, we have employment options for the way you want to work with our flexible scheduling program. Flexible scheduling is designed to fit your lifestyle and allows you to be in control of your schedule. CNS offers insurance plans upon employment. Celebrating 45 years of staffing, CNS Business Services.
Say yes to CNS.
The news says Gen Z is struggling. I've got news for them.
I wait tables, but last week I built a field hospital.
I put out a forest fire.
I stopped 1,000 attackers.
And a natural disaster.
I've saved lives.
And led a team on patrol.
I serve.
Well, I go to school full-time.
While I work full-time.
The greater the challenge, the stronger we become.
All right, that was our two sponsors, CNS Business Services and the Missouri Army National Guard. Jay, what have you got to say about all that?
Man, I absolutely love our sponsors. Right there in the heart of mid Missouri, there you've got CNS Business Services. They have been around for over 45 years, helping people find their passions and companies that they can match with and work with. And they can help you with flexible scheduling. They can get you in contact with the right people. So if you are looking for work, you want to contact CNS Business Services. And then I absolutely, we are coming up on one of our favorite issues of Sports Locker magazine, and that is our patriotic issue. It will be coming out in July. I'm already working on articles. My fantastic writers have already sent me all of their material. I'm reading through it, and I am just pumped up reading about some of these students who have chosen to go into the military and give their life um, for their country, for us. And when you read about the passion that they have, I mean, it's absolutely amazing. So, Dad, I know you know the contact people over there, but if you have that calling in your life, reach out because this is a great place to start, and they will help you fulfill that calling in your
That's
soul.
right. Reach out to Sergeant Innes and his team at the Missouri Army National Guard. And Jay, you hit it on the head saying that we have some young people that are getting ready to go into that branch of service too. So we appreciate all that they do. And, you hit on something really good just a second ago in your little speech there, Jay. You talked about passion. And
Mm.
that's what we've got Mr. Brad Dempsey on here. He's helping people to find their passion. And so, how's that for a segue, Jay? Go right on into your next question.
Man, no, it's all great. I told you I always leave these talks with Brad
Yeah.
feeling good. I feel like we've got to send him money. He has given me some really good vibes. I'll tell you that. But Brad, you when you talk about, the what we're seeing in college level one athletes. I don't know if I've ever seen the news report on more suicides this year than I've ever seen. And one that always affected me was that Madison Holleran, and I think that was like back in 2014 or 2015. But they have like the Madison Holleran Foundation, and it's literally geared towards these athletes who have just become so identified into their sport and not who they are as a person. And it's crazy to just think about these super successful people, but all we see is that on the outside. We don't know what's going on the inside. And I really, truly think that's what I'm like screaming. I hope people can see this and hear this. Like, get these athletes with someone like Brad Dempsey, like get them to Mindset Sports so they can work on that mental side of it, but do it in a way that's truly going to change their lives. So, anyways, I absolutely love what you're bringing to the table, and it's just fantastic stuff. Anyways, yeah, so I want to hear. Tell me about what's going on with Mindset Sports and with you said the other one, Mindset Training Group. I'm super tuned in.
Well, I will share this with you as far as mindset sports, and it's funny because I keep getting drugged towards the professional level, and my dream when I started mindset sports is to have mindset sport athletes from youth all the way to the professional level, and it's actually happening. So over the next week, I'm partnering with a sports agent where we will have professional athletes that are mindset sport athletes that are represented by Mindset Sports. And we're working on some frameworks for the NIL programs for colleges. So we're doing a lot of cool stuff. But my personal investment of what I love, and this is the teenage athletes, is the area where I feel like the most growth needs to occur and where we're really missing out in society is with those teenagers. I'm launching a pilot group that's going to go on for a long time, and it'll always be evolving. And that's one thing about creating new habits is everybody wants a quick change. They want a quick fix, but they have to understand when you want to change and you want to improve, it's all about evolving over time by creating good habits. One good habit a day instead of trying to do it all at once, right? Because when you try to do it all at once, when you fail, you quit, you give up. My good friend Brian Jackson, I talked about a minute ago, he always says, give yourself space and grace to grow. And to be able to do that, you have to know what you're really doing, what you're trying to do, because it's not about trying to arrive at that destination. It's trying to develop good habits. And so this program, I call it a pathway to, or a framework for a pathway to mental freedom for teenage athletes. It's called Built Different. And this is an 8-week program that allows these athletes to go through an awesome experience for them to be able to lay the foundation of, I do everything in triangles. So if you just look at a triangle of just the athlete, the coach, and the parent, I consider that to be a triangle that has to balance out to be able to work in the best interest of the athlete. So I build these foundational needs, body, mind, spirit, understanding, everything all the way up to the top triangle, which is consistency. And I work with these athletes on everything it takes to be able to perform at a high level, because we expect them to be able to go out and perform based on their talent, on whatever they're gifted to do. And a lot of the athletes that make it to the highest levels are because of their natural gifts, but they sometimes they don't tap into their capabilities, and a lot of times they don't tap into their full potential as a person, which is actually, in my opinion, lies in the mind. And so being able to tap into the mindset of these young people or middle-aged people or older people and be able to help them find their potential, again, their passion and their purpose, allows them to know. I'm going to tell a story. I had a young man brought to me, and he's one of my pilot athletes that I did a bunch of 1v1 coaching with. And his parents brought him to me. Counseling wasn't working. Very angry young man, just was unhappy and depressed. And I put him through something similar like what these athletes are going to go through. And we found that he has an entrepreneurial spirit. He loves to build things. He loves to do a lot of things that he wasn't doing, because he was so focused on being unhappy and not understanding why he was unhappy. And that's where a lot of the suicides come from, because it's an impulsive behavior. It's an impulsive action based on a feeling of helplessness, hopelessness, circumstances that happen where they don't feel like they can get themselves out of, and it's just that decision, and then it's over. So and those rates continue to rise. So in the young people, I know that's not on the news as much as maybe
Right.
a prominent athlete, but so we got with him, and we worked on him. We worked on I don't a lot of coaches believe that coaching is telling or giving your knowledge to the athletes or to the kids as a teacher, and that's not necessarily the case. I share with coaches all the time that what I've learned most in my coaching career isn't from reading a book or other coaches. It's from the athletes teaching me what they need. They'll tell you what they need. You'll know what they need. You learn from them. And so being open, again, being genuine, asking a lot of questions, guiding him to what he wants productively, facilitating him building what he wants to be and who he wants to become, and him knowing that someone believes in him other than his parents, and having that relationship has I have a testimonial in my case study from his parents just saying that he's a totally different person. And it's just, again, allowing him to work within the framework, where it may look different for someone else. I had a gymnast, a level 8 gymnast, who her sister was a level 10 gymnast, who found that she didn't want to do gymnastics anymore. We're talking about 5 days a week, 4 hours a night. Now she's playing volleyball. And I know for a fact that she never would have found that about herself, that she was doing something because she felt like everybody else wanted her to do it. But she never would have found that out about herself, and she wouldn't be happy playing team volleyball now if she wasn't able to be in the Built Different program and be in that framework and find what she wants to do and what she loves to do and what she's good at. And again, there's a lot. This isn't for everybody, but there's a lot of parents out there that would look at what I do and, we got to be tough. They got, no, extreme behaviors are what the problem is. The extreme behaviors of completely old school or completely new school, again, pointing fingers, whatever, that's not what works. What works is bringing out the best of the individual and giving them an opportunity to learn who they are and who they want to become.
That's great. You've said a lot of really good stuff there, and again, it applies in all areas of life. People finding that passion, like you were saying, but people understanding that they have a value, and that every single one of them has value and they're important. So that is absolutely outstanding that you're doing that. And you were talking in the earlier segment about coaches and the stresses that you guys went through. I know when you were doing everything that you were doing, when we were working together in Jeff City, I mean, you were going everywhere. And I see that a lot with a lot of the athletic directors and a lot of the coaches. They're just going everywhere. So it is very important that people take the time to understand what it is that they're to be doing. And like you said, take one thing at a time. In a day, just start with that.
Yeah, and I think that, looking back at my time, and I see nothing's changed. If I was still in a position like that, I would be doing that. And ultimately, when we're talking about, and just going to the mindset training group side of things, where I will be going into schools and helping them cultivate culture and do different things. But if you look at the fact that these schools and these educators, they don't shift the focus. They allow this to happen. It doesn't have to be this way. It can function in different ways. Why they're not shifting how educators work, or they're not evolving Nobody should be working 80 hours a week on a salary of X and working Y, because they're not going to pay them more. So why have this constant turnover every 3 years where we have to put somebody new into this position? When we have a great person like Jay Gill in this position, we want to keep Jay Gill,
That
and we
is
want
right.
Jay Gill to be happy. We want him to enjoy his job because he's great for kids. He fills kids up. The teachers love him. The coaches love him. He works for the people. And if he's working for the people like that, but yet he's becoming burnout, he's not getting to spend time with his family. There's got to be a balance. There has to be a balance in everything you do in life. Because like me, why did I leave? Well, it became unhealthy for me in all aspects of my life. My family balance, my personal health, the stress levels. I probably would have had a heart attack because I'm a stress magnet, and I had to learn a lot of new habits. But we're losing not just good people, great people, phenomenal, gifted people at every level, in every business, in every capacity. And for my passion of kids and people that surround kids, um, we have to revolutionize and allow the system to evolve to where people can have a good balance. And because that sets the example for the kids.
That's right.
The young people are watching what's going on and they see it and they know. And so we have to set a great example for them by how we function. And I think for me, I really believe this, that the athletes that I've coached and that I'm in touch with so many athletes I've coached over the years, I think that they respect me more than anything just because I was real with them.
Hmm.
And I loved him and I cared about him. Not because I taught him how to kick a ball or shoot a basketball or because we won X amount of games. It has nothing to do with that. It just has to do with the fact that I love them and I invested in them and I love their families.
Yep.
That's right. Outstanding. You know, Brad, I mean, I know that there's so much more that you can go into on this and telling people about a lot of the stories that you have. How can they get in contact with you if they want to get more information?
Yeah, so Coach D at mindsetsports.life. You can go to the Mindset Sports Facebook page. Follow me. Follow my personal page, Brad Dempsey, just on Facebook. I love to post just about life events, like lessons I learned. I like to teach some lessons in my posts, things that I go through. I out myself on things everything I know and that I've become is because of how many times I've messed up and made mistakes and screwed up, right? I mean, that's just me being honest. So follow me there. I've kind of shifted the social media to just where I'm just really on Facebook. Um, and that's just email me. Ask for the case study. I'd love to show you the case study, and I'd love to get more teenagers going through this program because it works.
It
Cool.
really it really does, and you're making a huge impact. And you know what? I've just been excited to see my sister on here tonight and all of her responses. She's awesome and saying that she loves this, and you're doing a lot of really good stuff, Brad. So
Thank
we
you.
appreciate you coming on here with us. But you know what? We do have to finish out with having a little bit of fun because I got to turn it over to Jay because he likes to have fun. So we're going to go ahead and let him fire away. Are you ready?
All right. Oh, I'm ready. The question is, Brad, are you ready?
I mean, I love to have fun, man.
Okay.
I
Okay.
that's what I love about you because I mean, everybody's got to have people in their life that love to smile and have fun,
That's
and
right.
everybody should try to become that person.
That's awesome.
You you
And
know
the
when
little
it
man
comes
loves
to
it
this,
too.
yeah.
That's
Okay, I think I can still hear him too. When it comes to the speed round, it's just all about, you know, people getting to know you a little bit better. And so I've got some questions. I know Dad has some questions, but I always like to start off talking about food. Brad, don't disappoint me. Don't say white rice. Uh, Blake, if you see this, add some ketchup in your life. Anyways, I'm a food guy, obviously, so I have to know what is your go-to favorite meal? Whether it's, if you think back to the 80 days when you're on the run, you're pumped up, You got to go get a good snack. Think to your mindset days right now. You're like, you have a great session. You're teaching these people. You go a strong like 7 hours straight, and you're like, dude, I'm wiped. I need some food. What do you go for?
Well, I mean, the pizza's always a great choice, but
Come on.
I'll tell you,
Come on.
I lost my mom a while back, but she used to make, and it's real simple, but she used to make pork chops in the oven, and she just put cream and mushroom sauce on there.
Mm-hmm.
I love
Oh,
that.
yeah.
It's been a
Oh,
long time.
that is.
I grew up on meat and potatoes. I'm from a small town, so.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds good. But hold on, baby, get that pork chops going. Get that oven going. Come
The
on now,
meatloaf.
baby. Come on.
She's
Oh,
like,
that sounds real
she's
good.
like, I'm taking care of a teething baby. You get it
Yeah,
yourself.
yeah, yeah. She'll remind me who's in charge when we're done. That's okay. All right. What's this? Could be a little bit longer, but what's one of the first things that you try to teach or share with one of your new clients?
Oh wow. Yeah, I just want to share with them, well, one, the importance of encouragement. That's the thing I talk to the most with athletes now, these young people. I'm like, "Hey, when's the last time you encouraged someone?" And that's the first thing I tell them. Like, I want you to go encourage 3 people tomorrow and then tell me what that was like, because encouragement, when it's done intentionally, when it's done genuinely, it always circles back to yourself. It helps you in 2 ways. It helps the person that you encourage, and it really internally makes you feel good too. So I'm huge. I'm on the encouragement bandwagon. I love to encourage everybody I come across because I see the good in people.
Absolutely.
Boy, you can check me off the list. You encouraged me. I tell you what, I'm taking that to work tomorrow. That's good. All right. If you could teleport to anywhere in the world right now, where do you want to go?
Oh wow. I would take my wife to Italy. She's been wanting to go to Italy. I really want to visit the Amalfi Coast. It looks like a cool place.
Mm-hmm.
So I would go there.
Yeah.
Very
That sounds
cool.
good.
All right. What is your least favorite chore to do around the house?
All of them.
Amen.
I find myself doing
Hey,
yeah, I don't know. I think the worst part is folding and putting the laundry away.
I hear
That's
you on
my
that.
least favorite. Yeah.
I hear you on that. That's a good one. All right. Finish this sentence. When I dance, I look like.
A robot.
All right. That could
Doing
be
the
pretty good
robot.
though. A
All right.
robot could be
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Doing the
I
robot.
My wife tells me I have no rhythm and I look stiff, so
Okay. So maybe that's not
robot.
so good then.
No, it's not.
I was being that
Uh,
optimist. I was going for the good robot,
I appreciate that. That's what I appreciate about it. I've always appreciated that about you.
All right.
oh, I love it. This is my last one before I let Dad take over. But what is something that you could? I know you can go on and on, but because this is deep. But what is something you wish you would have learned sooner in life?
Man, that's a great question, and I think about things like this all the time, and I can't live with regrets, man. I tell people not to say can all the time, but if I could go back, even to my early coaching and teaching days, I would have been more empathetic. I would have gotten to know people more. I saw a story the other day about Dean Smith on Twitter where a coach kicked a player out of practice, and then the player was from Africa, wouldn't look Dean Smith in the eyes. And Dean's like, "What's the matter?" He goes, "Coach, in my culture, um, when you look people in the eyes, it's a sign of disrespect." Dean Smith sent Coach Guthridge to Africa for a week to learn that young man's culture. And so for me, if I could go back, I would have spent even more time learning about every single one of my students, every single one of the kids I coached, just learning more about them and their family.
Wow, great,
That's great.
fantastic.
That was a
That's
great
awesome. All
that
right,
was a great example too. So, all right,
yeah.
Jay, that was good. Good stuff. You kind of changed some things up. You did get a little deep on some stuff. So, we're gonna go
Come on.
with
This is Brad Dempsey. I knew I was going to get some good
funniest
stuff.
moment as a dad. We've all had them. What's been your funniest moment as a dad?
Oh my gosh, man. I've done so much stupid stuff. That's a hard one to beat, man. I can't even recall off the top of my head. My wife could give you a million. Uh, oh geez.
Well, you can think about that one. We'll come right back to it. Two foods that don't make any sense putting them together, but you like them together.
Oh, I like to mix my soups.
Mix your
Um,
soups.
yeah, so I'll mix chili with chicken noodle, and I'm weird about. I don't know. I like to mix my soups, and people don't think that makes sense, but
Well,
hey,
if you're if you're wanting to get a bunch of different variety of soup, that's the way you do it.
yeah,
Because you get full eating one bowl of chicken noodle, then one bowl of chili, and then one bowl of vegetable. Just combine
there
them.
you
That's
go. You
there
just
you go.
combine them all. You get a little taste of everything.
All right.
Hey, that's
Okay.
good.
What is the longest distance you've personally run and regretted it?
I I can tell you right now, the longest distance I've ever run is 6 miles, and we had to do it every day, the first day of practice in college every year,
Mm.
and I was always just extremely frustrated with the coach. I didn't understand, like, we're a soccer team. Why are we running 6 miles? Like, and so I've never run more than 6 miles, and I don't plan on it. I'm actually one of the fit. I'm probably the fittest I've been in years,
Uh-huh.
but I still have no plan of running over 6 miles.
Yeah. That's not your passion. That is
It is
not your
not.
passion.
No.
All right. What has been, we'll just use one, but what's been one of your favorite moments as a coach?
Oh man, I I'd have to say that one of my favorite moments as a coach was uh, just we went to the finals my first year coaching high school girls soccer. I'll never forget that group. They taught me everything I didn't know about coaching girls, and I'm like, that just showed how great of a team they were and how good they were because I wasn't a good coach, but we still went to the state championship. So I didn't screw it up. They didn't let me screw it up. They allowed me to tag along. So I'll never forget that memory. It was a whole lot of fun.
That's great. Okay, well, I'm going to go back to the favorite moment or funniest moment as a dad thing. But first, what's been one of your favorite moments as being a dad?
I to be honest with you guys, I love sports, and when I moved down here and chose to get out of education, I also stopped coaching teams so I could watch my kids play.
Mhm.
So every time I get the opportunity to watch them play or their friends play, I just love it. I just watch, I eat it up, and it's a whole lot of fun for me. It's
That's
very
great.
enjoyable.
That's great. All right, I'm going to give you one more. One more. So Jay talked to you about teleporting somewhere. Well, I want to know if you could do one crazy stunt, what would that be?
Oh, I'd love to be able to do a backflip.
Okay.
I'd love to be able to just do a back, just like, how some of those people are just like, hey, watch this, and just start flipping all over
Yeah.
the place. Like, I'd love to be able to just do that just one time, just go flip around.
Just one time. That's right.
I'll get dizzy doing a somersault. It's embarrassing, but I'd love to be able to just do that. I don't know how people do it. It's unbelievable to me.
I don't either. I always used to try to do a flip off of the diving board, and it never worked out well. I just stick to diving.
Hey, at
Just stick
least
to
you
diving.
tried.
Well, I didn't try it from the high dive. I can tell you that. I had my limits.
There you go.
Hey, Coach, we appreciate you being on here so much. We uh, we are very honored to have you as a friend, and we're supportive of you, and we're gonna get this out to as many people as we can get it out to. And you just holler if you need us anytime, and we'd be happy to have you come back on here again and share how you're doing. Here's some more of those stories. Maybe some of those funny moments as a dad. We want to hear that yet.
It'd probably be more or less embarrassing, but
Okay.
yeah, I love you guys. I've loved you guys from the beginning, back when you started Sports Locker magazine. It's amazing. We talk about evolving and what you guys have evolved into, and you keep growing, and you promote great things, great people, stories, and I just love it. You make the communities that you live in 10, 100, a million times better, and I'm very blessed to know you guys.
Well, likewise, and that runs right back at you. So we appreciate you. Hold on here with us. I'm going to let Jay close us out. He always, we always like to make sure he has the final word. So we're going to let him rip.
Oh man, this has been a fantastic night, and even though I knew in my heart of hearts that I was going to get filled up and get motivated, I just never know how good it's truly going to be. And so I'm just super blessed tonight, and I am so thankful to have you on the show tonight, Brad. Like Dad said, so thank you for being on here and just pouring out into our audience. So, guys, if you want us to keep bringing these amazing people onto our show, you know what you need to do. You need to like our page, share the content, and just comment. Let us know you're there. Let us know what questions you have, and we just want to get this out to as many people as possible. So you can find us on YouTube. We are here every Monday night at 7 p.m. and we just love bringing you guys awesome people. So thank you all so much for watching. This is One Nation, a Sports Locker Magazine Extra. I'm your co-host Jay, and over there's the bald eagle. You all know him well. So thank you all so much for joining tonight, and I can't wait to see you again next week. God bless.
God bless him. Brad, thank you again. We appreciate you.
Thank you, guys.
All right.